Diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on her, flaring on her. We Rick flaring on her, flaring on her. Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on her, flaring on her. Jet, we Rick flaring on her, flaring on her. It's apparent these girls staring. I'm Rick flaring, gold across my chest. I'm fresh to death. I'm Paul Bearing, not at all scary. When I open like Betty Wops and find to these circles that's going in like a carry shot. Woo! I'm going in like a Mary Pop off that Mary crop at the top flow at the Marriott. So questioning me is like questioning you. See, we the best dressed, so come and get blessed with the crew. Not one but two, different ways to slaughter your crew. Committed tat across the chest, I guess she blessed with the truth. People want to see them checks, representation of proof. Living through my elders trying to resonate to the youth. But ain't nothing to get my flash on. Longevity is heavily embedded in my melanin. Layman terms, I last long. My ground repetitive, I'm smoother than real silk. Lyrical cash cow who can't cry over spilled milk. We in here. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on her, flaring on her. We Rick flaring on her, flaring on her. To the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on her, flaring on her. We Rick flaring on her, flaring on her. This ain't no normal situation, this preparation with greatness. Industry full of fakeness, it's really up for the taking. See, life is what happened to you, more so how you take it. Don't get stripped of your knowledge and mentally leave you naked. I like to live otherwise. I'm sorry that I'm fresh to death. I put the polo and apologize. See, black son, we ain't nothing like them other guys. Quit to socialize, we organize, then we mobilize. Off the deep end like a scuba diver. And no confusion, just keep it pushing like Uber drivers. Woo! Business fresh just like a supervisor in a Gucci visor. Can't find a smoother rhymer. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on her, flaring on her. We Rick flaring on her, flaring on her. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on her, flaring on her. We Rick flaring on her, flaring on her.
Yeah, DQ baby. Shout out that boy Miggy for that fire track. Hey, Black Sun, sun up. What's up, Vinny Vegas? What in Vegas? Yeah. Shout out Pharaoh's Kids, D-Phase. Yeah. Bubba C. Yeah. Rick flaring on him. Rick flaring on him. Rick flaring on him. Rick flaring, son up, baby.
Hey, yo, Scotty, we back.
Yo,
Appreciate you for reaching
you a
out.
star.
I'm like, hey, it's outspoken. A lot changed. Granted, the concept we still hosting. Giving you the fix you need when on the screen. The veteran, Captain Petty, giving you medicine. Come tap in. You know Scott gon' do what he do. Might not want to hear it, but here go the hard truth. Perry about the numbers, regret if you're not fact-based. When you run your lane, the numbers seem like a statue. Wait. Hey, Scotty, man, I'm not feeling it. I don't think the people feeling it. Let me get in my bag a little bit, just showing what this outspoken really about to be like. Outspoken, this is more than conjecture. These days they laying people off. So glad that we got our own. Hunger insatiable, made for you if you say you objective. Hard truth offering, no offense, just perspective. Come get your dosage and go with me. We spit it like poetry. The pivot was pivotal. Could rhyme here, but I'd rather not. Some say Scotty, some call him Scott. The best one since Stewart. If you know, then you know. But if you don't, then you're lost. Let me be frank for a minute, cause we all know that's how Perry be. Break it down the game for what it was. No apologies. This my hypothesis. You tune in, you like watching it. It's common sense, obvious, competent, rugged, and confident. Hey, we outspoken. We outspoken. We outspoken. This is outspoken, and we gon' put on a show, even if we hear you say I can. It's outspoken.
Hey, back.
Woo! Listen.
listen, you already know what it is. Happy Tuesday. You know what it is, man. I want to thank you all for showing up and showing out for us. You already know, you're watching Outspoken, man. We got a very full, impactful show for you today. I'm telling you that right now. It's the only way we know how to do it, right? You already know what it is. But listen, I couldn't be nothing without my brother from another. Perry White!
Oh, goddamn.
What's up, P?
What's going on?
Man, chilling, man, chilling.
I'm just happy to be here today.
You always happy to be here today.
I'm just happy to be here, Scotty. What's up, man?
You see what I got on today?
Come closer. Put it in the camera.
I don't know if you can see that.
The standard.
Yeah. So the Miss Chenault from the VP, she the VP of the Human Jukebox.
Yeah.
Yeah, she sent me and my wife one of these. I was like, oh, this is nice. Thank you so much. You know
who that legend is on that shirt?
Bobby Greggs.
Okay.
Come on, don't do me. I've been in this space for a good little minute now.
I just want to make sure you know.
Come on now. Don't do me like that now. Don't do me like that. So she sent me this. She sent us this card. It was so nice and lovely. You know what I'm saying? She sent us this card and everything. Man, it was beautiful, man. I don't give many people my address. Because you know how you are. You know what I'm saying? Try to send you a box of candy, you gotta send that Jake down the road.
I'm like the president. They gotta go through some filters before we get to me.
Facts. You know, I don't give a lot of people my address, but now Miss Chenault, she sent this man, and she sent us the shirts, and she just wished us well and stuff like that. She sent me a picture of you and her. She's like, I like Perry. Perry's so funny. She's like, I met him, stuff like that. So yeah,
she's a wonderful person, man. She good people.
Great person.
Good people. They don't make them like that.
Nah.
Detroit.
Oh yeah. Hey, from the D, you know.
Motown.
You know what I'm saying? From the D, she ain't playing. Listen, guys, we got a full show for you today. We got a very, 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 very special guest today, man. Shout out to Perry for, networking and doing what he does. This guy is making waves in the HBCU space. I don't know if you've seen him, you've heard of him, but he's been in the HBCU for decades. He's been a head basketball coach for 2 institutions, Tennessee State as well as for Valley State. He is now the founder of the HBCU All-Star Game. Please give it up for today, our special guest, Mr. Travis Williams.
What's up, my guys? How you doing?
We're doing well. What are you doing, sir?
Man, I'm just happy to be on your show. I thank you for taking time out your busy schedule to have me a part of this historic show. You see what I'm saying? This is historic.
Come on. History to history, historic to historic. That's how we do it. That's how we do it. We appreciate you for taking time out your busy day. And the countdown to the HBCU All-Star Game is in full effect. April 7th, 2024 in Arizona.
Ooh, you know it, man. We're making history. Third annual HBCU All-Star Game. 26 days, a celebration of the best in Black college basketball. More importantly, we get an opportunity to take the entire HBCU All-Star experience to that part of the country, the Valley of the Sun, where you and I know HBCUs doesn't exist in that part of the country.
Oh, absolutely. Listen, I got a couple cousins down there in Phoenix. They ain't heard of an H, a B, a C, or a G. Okay, so that's just what it is. Now, your third annual, right? How did the concept even come about? Because I feel like stuff like this, you had nothing but naysayers. You can't do that. Who does that? Why would you do that? We don't need that. You know what I'm saying? So where did the concept come from in the beginning for the HBCU All-Star Game?
Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God, for the vision. This is such a God-driven vision that was placed in my spirit. After 17 successful years of coaching, as you mentioned earlier, 8 of my 17 years of coaching were HBCUs. I used to be the head coach at Tennessee State University, Fort Valley State University. And so when God speaks, you have to listen or be obedient. So I'm walking in my purpose. And so after God placed this vision in my spirit, I had the opportunity to go sit down and discuss this with my wife and say, hey, this is the only thing I'm focused on because I know it has an opportunity to change the trajectory of our historical Black colleges and universities. And it shows the world that our HBCUs matter on and off the court, in the community, and nationally. And so I had an opportunity to sit down and speak with my wife and say, hey, baby, you're going to have to hold it down. Personally, professionally, and financially, this is the only thing I'm focusing on. And so during that time, we were able to lay down the foundation and the blueprint to where we are now.
Now, I know Perry about to ask you a question, but how we get one of them jerseys though? Like, are they for sale? Because HBCU All-Star pretty clean. I ain't gonna hold you.
Hey man, those are commemorative. That's why I got them here. But you can go to HBCUAllStarGame.com where you get those jerseys. But also we'll have the gear, everything live at the game. And so, but HBCU All-Star Game, you can get your exclusive gear and represent the HBCU All-Stars brand. But more importantly, this movement for Black excellence at the highest level.
I like it. Perry, what you got?
Travis, good to have you, man. The first thing I got to ask, I was there the first year you had this over in New Orleans. You played it at the UNO Arena. You guys put on a show doing doing the NCAA Final Four. Then last year, you guys went over to Houston. And then for the first time ever, you actually were able to host this on the campus of an HBCU at Texas Southern. How have you seen this thing continuously grow year in and year out from 1 to 2, now going on to 3?
I think it starts where individuals like you that understand the magnitude of it and we're talking about it. And so I think that speaks loud and clear about the platform that you guys have now. And so, like I said, to do it in April 2022 in New Orleans, the first time ever during the 40-plus year history of the NCAA March Madness tournament, then also to go to the great city of Houston, where the city shut down for this historic event and having the first ever HBCU All-Star Game on an HBCU campus. It speaks loud and clear about the volume and support. As you and I know, this is long overdue, for as our HBCU All-Stars being able to get this national platform. We have some of the most esteemed coaches across the country. We have some of the most ambitious, hardworking, talented, and very deserving student athletes, but we normally don't get this shine. We don't have those individuals going on our campus recruiting and scouting our players. When you look at the landscape of the NBA now, 450 NBA players, 30 NBA teams, there's only one current active HBCU player on the roster. That's Robert Covington, Tennessee State, with the Philadelphia 76ers, who played for me at Tennessee State. So you think about it, 450 players, one HBCU All-Star player, 29 G Leagues teams. You have 2 HBCU alums that participated in our game. Javante Cook, Winston-Salem with the Iowa. Then you have Jordan Carr-Nichols with the South Bay Lakers G League team. 2 representing of 29 HBCUs. We just got to continue to fight. We got to continue to keep amplifying our platform. And it got to continue to be individuals like you really telling the story, because it's important. It's important to our legacy. It's important to show HBCUs matter, but it's also important for these national showcases and platforms. And I must give my CBS sports partner huge shout out to be able to have this game of this magnitude one day before the men's national championship game, broadcasted live on CBS television network. Let me say that again for folks to understand the magnitude, because I know folks are watching. Everybody was tuning in and watching that Usher concert during Super Bowl weekend. Everybody, you go ahead and raise your hand. Y'all was watching it. Yeah. But now we have the same platform because CBS Sports is our partner. And that's the same platform that we'll get an opportunity to have this national elite showcases, showcasing 24 of the nation's top players from our current watch list of 65 of the nation's top players representative of our 4 premier Black college conferences, the MEAC, the SWAC, the CIAA and SIAC, and our independent teams we call, Tennessee State, Hampton, North Carolina A&T, because they play in non-HBCU conferences. And so we currently have 65 players. And on Monday, March the 18th, we will announce the top 24 players in the country that will be representing of the 3rd annual HBCU All-Star Game live on CBS Sports Network. That is huge. That is important. And so we need to make sure folks understand the magnitude of this. Just like you were tuning into that Usher concert, you need to tune into this historic HBCU All-Star Game, because we're going to have all the bells and whistles, the band, the cheerleaders, the dance team, the Divine Nine, Black excellence inside Grand Canyon University, Global Credit Union Arena. And I can assure you, it's going to be the hottest ticket in town in Phoenix, where HBCU doesn't exist. And we must say this, and I must say this, that we have a lot of HBCU individuals that are out there in Phoenix that are looking forward to this event. Not only we get an opportunity to expose our young folks to our HBCUs that are interested in attending HBCUs, it's important to show them. And for folks that don't know about HBCUs, because the reality is, this is all inclusive of everyone. If you're a basketball fan, this is inclusive of everyone. So think about it. The Final Four games are Saturday. Our HBCU All-Star game is Sunday. And then you have the men's national championship game that Monday. Thank you, God, for the vision.
That's big. That's big, and you keep representing God, and I absolutely love it. My question is the women's basketball game has grown tremendously. Is there ever a plan to slide this over for the women as well? Because with Caitlin Clarks and the Angel Reeses of the world, and then you have Coach Tamika Reed, what she's doing at Jackson State, and you have Larry Vickers and what he's doing at Norfolk State, and the dominance that they're showing, then the A&T women as well. So is there plans or anything in the works behind the scenes of a women's basketball all-star game as well?
I'm glad you asked that question. So about a week or so ago, I don't know if you missed it, but we announced the top 20 HBCU women who you just referenced to a week ago. I think it's important. It's all been about both of us, and I think that's the most important thing. My daughter plays basketball, so I'm a big champion of women basketball. I'm a champion of everything that's HBCU. So I think that's a very important moment in time, especially with the presence of basketball across all lanes. So we are excited that we nominated and highlighted the top 20 women basketball players in our HBCU space last week. And so we get an opportunity to bring them in our space during Final Four weekend and recognize them during some of our pregame and in-game features and things of that nature. And so we are looking forward to eventually doing an HBCU All-Star game.
Let's go.
Yeah. So we are looking forward to doing that. So definitely won't be this year, but we are in the plans and the process of doing that, because it is an amazing opportunity to really highlight the excellence that our women are doing on and off the basketball court, just as well as we're doing with our men.
Absolutely. I know you were talking about you guys are going to unveil the guys that are going to be on these rosters for the All-Star game on CBS Sports. What is the process like in selecting the names of the guys who are going to be on this list next week?
And so let me, man, y'all are on it. See, that's what I love about this. This is what I'm talking about here. So think about it. We have the nation's top 65 players that we've been watching throughout the 23-24 basketball season. We have an amazing HBCU All-Stars National Scouting Staff and Selection Committee in place. We have a number of former head coaches, associate head coaches, assistant coaches with over 150 years of experience that's been out in the trenches at these games, watching them live on TV, been recruiting and scouting and evaluating, along with me being out there as a part of the HBCU All-Stars Tour. So we're in good hands in selecting the nation's top players in the country. If the proof in the pudding in April 2022 and then in April 2023, we're excited to do this. And so we'll be live, as you mentioned, from CBS Sports Network, Monday, March the 18th at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we want to make sure everyone's watching. Tune in, because we about to show up and we're going to show out.
I love it.
It's going to be a celebration of Black excellence. And trust me, we have some of the most amazing players in all of college basketball, not just Black college basketball, because we just being provided those same opportunity and resources. We are capable of showing them what we're capable of doing. And so we're excited about it.
Let's talk about these big time coaches leading these teams. Listen, when I Ben Wallace, listen, the Afro, come on, man. Like, I am a Ben Wallace fan. Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you. I am a Ben Wallace fan. Ben Wallace and listen, I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't know who the Sixers dude is. He's a little past my time. He's past my age group.
Ooh, you got to know Rick Mahorn, baby. That's a bad boy. You know all that good stuff.
Ben Wallace for me, but no. So but these two coaches talk about the impact that they had talking to the youth, and their experience and their journey through the HBCU world, and why you chose these two to be the head coaches.
Well, I think they're representing. So the process plays out like this. And so they're HBCU and NBA legends. And so how we're able to pay homage and respect to our HBCU legends of the past, the present, and future. We recognize them. So in year number 1, we had Team John McClendon versus Team Clarence Big House Games, 2 of the most legendary HBCU coaches. Last year, Team Dr. Dick Barnett versus Team Willis Reed, as you see, we're paying homage. And now you get an opportunity in year 3, Team Rick Mahorn versus Team Ben Wallace. And so our team names will be named after these legendary players. Our coaches that we announced during our watch list, then our roster reveal next week, we'll announce the top coaches that'll be our HBCU All-Star coaches, the head coaches, as well as the assistant coaches, representative of our 4 premier Black college conferences. And so we, out of respect, we wanted to show some love to my man Rick Mahorn and my man Ben Wallace. Rick Mahorn, Hampton University, Ben Wallace, Virginia Union University, 2 of the most esteemed and just really gentle, humble, and just giving brothers in the business. And so I've had opportunity to have a great dialogue with them. They are supporting this movement because they understand how important to them. They laid the foundation for the present guys and for the future guys. And so it's an opportunity for us on behalf of HBCU All-Stars, the HBCU All-Star Game, to recognize their greatness in all of this.
What other, because usually, when you're putting on events like there's a lot of surrounding, initiatives and events coordinated with this event. What are some of the week events leading up to the HBCU All-Star Game that you guys have planned or during that weekend?
And it's very important you ask that question, because we want to make sure everybody's just watching this. It's bigger than the basketball game. And I say that very humble spirit, but it's bigger than the basketball game. The basketball game is what draws us, what's the important. But what's our give back? How do we impact everybody in this? In all of this, we want everybody to win. The HBCU movement, the God-driven vision is make sure everybody wins in this. And so let me paint the picture for you. And it's on our website, HBCUAllStarGame.com. You can follow a list of events and things of this nature that we're doing. But our All-Stars arrive Wednesday, April the 3rd. And so a lot of these guys probably haven't met each other. So we do meet and greet, opportunity to meet and greet each other, things of that nature there. And also it's an opportunity for us to be exposed. We take them to the specialty shoot. So the same access those Final Four participating teams have, we have access to, and we'll take them to it and do our specialty shoot, which is an amazing experience. And that Wednesday evening, we have an award ceremony. Like I said, we think it's very, very important. We have an award ceremony to recognize they deserve to be here. And so we want to be able to recognize this moment for them and recognize them for the great things they did throughout the 23-24 basketball season. But more importantly, being selected as one of the nation's top HBCU All-Stars and represent the culture. So we do awards, but also it's an opportunity for us to recognize a lot of our local leaders there in Phoenix. So we're excited to recognize some of our leaders there that have really hit the ground hard, is really making an impact in the community and living a life of service and committed to their faith in God. So that's important for the award ceremony. Thursday, of course, practice. We hired BAM Testing Company. Let me put it in perspective. BAM Testing Company is the same company that does the NBA draft, pre-draft, Chicago, Portsmouth. That company has been in partners with us for the past 2 years. And I'm saying this to say, we hired them to do all our pro day measurements, on-court agility, everything that we do leading into the game. So we'll do that Thursday morning as well as practice with the team. Our pro day combine is that Friday where we invite NBA, G League, international scouts and team and agents to come watch our guys in a pro day combine. So think about it. We have the game, but we do the pro day combine. And then on top of that, when we do all our measurements and everything, we have it. Here you go. We have all the measurements that we've done the day before with BAM testing, height, weight, everything you can think of on our top 24 players and our pros and teams and personnel that's invited will be able to have this on hand. We have some amazing sponsors that we'll be able to do some community outreach, some activations with. We partner with the local YMCA there where we're going to do youth camps and clinics. It's important for us to give back and expose young folks to our HBCU All-Stars. And then that Thursday, we call it the HBCU All-Stars Mixer Meet and Greet. This is another opportunity for the great city of Phoenix and their local community and business supporters and government supporters to come out and break bread, meet and greet our entire HBCU All-Star staff, the players. This is just an opportunity for us to fellowship and share the vision of why this is important, HBCU All-Stars and HBCU All-Star games. Friday, as I mentioned, as our actual Pro Day Combine. We also want to thank Mayor Gallego and her exceptional leadership team. We are doing a press conference live from City Hall with Mayor Gallego from 2 to 3 p.m. there in Phoenix to showcase and tell how great of this event is going to be for the Phoenix community. And so we're doing that. And then, of course, that afternoon from like 3:30 to 6, we have what we call the HBCU All-Star Fun Day. Friday Fun Day. This is an opportunity for us to give back when those young folks get out of school on that Friday. You know, we're doing a court dedication where we're going in and renovate a court and leave it as a legacy project important to the community. Food trucks, bound houses. We partner with our social HBCU All-Star Social Justice and Civil Rights Initiative. We have an opportunity to amplify our voices. This is a big election year. And so we want to make sure our All-Stars have a voice and a platform. But more importantly, our social justice is a part of what we do in this, and make sure we invite all our social justice organization, community leaders to really get out and amplify and get folks to the polls, registering to vote, because we think that is really important. That's really important for you and I, even to having the platforms that we're having to this day. And so that's a part of our Friday Fun Day. And so also we're going to stuff over 1,000 backpacks with school supplies for students that are attending this event. And we'll be able to get school supplies and with these backpacks. So it's just going to be a fun day of games, fellowship, and just love, where we have an opportunity to pour love into our young folks and our families in need. But more importantly, pour love into each other to show that everything matters. And then on top of that, we have one of the most amazing internship programs. I just had our first meeting last night. And so we had over close to 300 submissions that individuals want to be a part of this through our internship program. We had our first meeting, and it was over 100 plus interns on that call from all across the country, HBCU students, all type of students. So it's very open and welcoming. And it was such amazing to see those beautiful and handsome faces on there, want to be a part of the HBCU All-Star movement, want to come learn the behind the scenes of sports marketing events and media, you know. And so our internship program is truly amazing. These interns can learn basketball, game ops. They can learn activations with our corporate partners. They can learn, they can do social media, videography, film. They have an opportunity to gain valuable knowledge and experience, but more importantly, the relationships. And all of this, as you and I know, it's about relationships. Just like a relationships, I'm on this call you and get an opportunity to meet you guys on your platform, relationship. So our internship is amazing. One of our partners, one of our Joshua's partners, who provide our commemorative championship rings. So each HBCU All-Star player and coach get one of these commemorative championship rings. Why do we get this? Because it's important to, let me make sure I get it right. So it's important because this is a championship for us, because we normally don't get these type of national platform. As much as we want our HBCU also to win a national platform during Final Four weekend, God willing, before my time it happens. But this is a championship for us. So the confetti, the nets cutting and all that stuff, getting the rings, the championship trophy, the MVP trophy, this is a championship for us. So we're proud to celebrate that aspect. But also with Johnson's, we're proud to partner with 4 or 5 high schools there, where we're able to provide cap and gowns. Y'all know graduating, them cap and gowns are not cheap. So we're able to sponsor a number of cap and gowns where we invest in 4 to 5 high schools, you know, there in the Phoenix area. And so these are just some of our give back opportunities that we're excited to be able to give back. That's important. And as you notice, we didn't say anything about charging anybody for our events.
Come on.
We did not say charging anything for our event. That is our give back. We set aside 2,500 free tickets for the city of Phoenix and families. 2,500, and we already capped out all 2,500. So we want to be able to expose them to this. And so there's more information coming out soon that I'm not privy to share everything, give y'all the meat and potatoes. That's a call for another interview. But trust me, there's individuals that are watching this and tune in and lock in. Follow us. It's there. And so our give back is really, really important. We partner with Reveal Suit Company. It's a Black-owned suit company. A brother, him and his wife are doing some amazing things. We give each HBCU All-Stars a custom suit to help in their career transition. Yes, a custom suit through our partnership with Reveal Suit Company. And this brother and his wife are doing some amazing things. And so we want to support. And it's important that we all win in this. And then to close it out, you think about it. Let me paint the picture for you, the game. So we take our guys to the Final Four games. So we'll take them to the games and let them experience it. They might not get an opportunity to go back. This is once in a lifetime opportunity. So that Saturday morning, a day before practice, the day before the game was probably the most significant game, part of why this is important to us. When we walk into that arena, our court would be laid down with our new court. This would be the first time the guys get an opportunity to see our new court. But the most important aspect of that, we will have a prayer service. I call it our HBCU All-Stars Pastors Prayer Service. So we invite some of our most significant pastors from the city of Phoenix to come join in hand and cover us in prayer. That is the most significant thing. Cover us in prayer the day before our game, before our practice that Saturday morning, and the revealing of our new court. It is significant that we're covered because we don't take this moment for granted. And we have these pastors really come cover us because that's important to us. So as a part of our pastor's prayer service, we do that Saturday. Then we'll practice and go through all. We'll leave there and go to our social justice and civil rights panel luncheon, social justice and civil rights luncheon. And then we'll have a panel discussion with our HBCU All-Stars. And then later in that evening, we will take them to the Final Four games so they can experience this lifetime moment. In the past few years, we've had Magic Johnson stop through, Jamie Foxx, Dwayne Wade, you name it. They get the word out, HBCU All-Stars there, because we're just as important as the 4 participating Final Four teams. And that's how we all a part of it, but we in our soul and spirit, we ride through there with an HBCU All-Stars customized bus that'll be riding through the great city of Phoenix. We're excited about that. And so we take them to the game. And then on that Sunday, as you know, it's showtime for us. We're ready to show up and we're ready to show out. Doors are open at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for 1 p.m. And while we open it up that early, we have partnered with Archwood where we said, buy Black Phoenix. And so our pregame, we are reached out, and it could be vendors from all over the country, but we want to be able to support our local Black and brown businesses there in the Phoenix, where all of our vendors and entrepreneurs would have an opportunity to come set up in our pregame call and sell their goods and service and showcase. What's the use of having a platform like this if you can't share it and help others win? That's God-driven vision in this. So we have all our Black and brown vendors. We have kids play area zone. We have games. We have food, DJ. It is the biggest homecoming celebration in Phoenix on Grand Canyon University campus. And all that leads to our game, where an hour before we have 1 hour college game day features leading into the game live on CBS television network. And I can tell you, we want to make sure you that are watching, who plan to be there, get there early for this historic moment. Get there early. And if you can't get there, make sure you do the same thing that you did for Usher's concert. Make it a watch party. Pass it on to your family. Oh, we got to watch the HBCU All-Star game, because I can assure you, the band is bringing. I'm not going to tell you the band yet. The dance team is bringing it. The cheerleaders bringing it. The Divine Nine is represented. So this is the hottest ticket in town, but we want all eyes glued in on the television if you cannot be there. But if you want to come there and be a part of the pregame and then the postgame fan, because after the game, it all leads back to the quad area. So that's kind of where we are. In this space, we get an opportunity to celebrate the best in Black college basketball represent all of our HBCUs across the country. And so I'm glad you asked that question because it's one of the most important questions. The game is what draws everybody, but how do we impact the community through all the great things we do? You know, our scholarship fund, we've given back over 6 figures in scholarship fund dollars, academic assistance to HBCU students that are in financial need. Also, high school students interested in attending HBCUs. And so that is important. We've supported all our conference offices, you know, in supporting their scholarship initiatives. And now we've invited all of our presidents across the country, all of our ADs, all of our coaches to be a part of this so we can recognize and present them an amazing check during our festivity. And to take it one step further, everybody heard of the legendary coach Ben Jobs, the legendary coach Ben Jobs. And so this year, we've announced a new initiative in partnership with the NABC, which is a National Association of Basketball Coaches. We HBCU All-Stars, we have sponsored over 20 HBCU assistant coaches from those 4 premier Black college conferences and paid their membership grant and their convention dues to be a part. And we recommended a number of them to go from that assistant coach to the head coach position with our NABC partners. This is an amazing opportunity because, as you and I know, we don't get those opportunities. And so HBCU All-Stars is here to ensure that everybody is represented, not only from the game, but off the court and in the community.
Sound like you trying to be a commissioner, man.
I was thinking the same thing.
Sound like
Are you up to being a commissioner of some? Good Lord.
Oh, man, I'm just being obedient. I think that's the most important thing, just being obedient to God. When God places a vision or a spirit, I'm just being obedient. And I'm walking in my purpose. And as you guys know, I love coaching. This still is coaching. It's still a part of it. But just being obedient and being able to make sure that we do things at a high level, but more importantly, really showing, you know, why HBCUs matter, celebrating us at the highest level, but making it inclusive of everybody that's not familiar with our HBCUs, now to get an opportunity to learn and grow and see the importance of what we do in this space. And so, as you guys know, the HBCU All-Stars Tour, the HBCU All-Star Game, it's going to always be about how can we help each other? How can we help the community? You'll never hear me say, how can about Travis L. Williams, anything like that. I started off this interview with my wife, sharing the vision, because it starts at home. It starts with your faith. It starts with your family. I have 2 wonderful, amazing children, Tegan Lorianne Williams and Travis Jr. They both attend Ron Clark Academy, amazing schools and school. And so for us, anything you know about me is my faith, my family, and how do we impact the world. That's how I feel.
Let me ask you this before you get ready to go. How can people follow along? Social media, website, you know, because if they're not able to watch it, but just want to follow along with the journey of everything that you guys are putting out there.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, you can follow us on HBCUAllStarGame.com. You can follow us on HBCUAllStarsLLC.com. We're on all social media platforms, IG, HBCU All-Star Game, HBCU All-Stars LLC, and Travis L. Williams 24. And you can follow us also on HBCU All-Star Game Experience, you know, Instagram, Twitter, X, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok. You can follow us on all, and we need you to support. So make sure you're following us, sharing the information, being a part of the movement, and make sure you tune in on Sunday, April 7th at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, CBS Television Network, prime time. Make this game a watch party for family members if you can't be in the building. And we also have great opportunity for you. If you want to support our HBCU All-Star Scholarship Initiative, please go to HBCU All-Star Game. All our events are free, but we do have a text to give to support our initiative. If you want to support the game, you want to purchase a ticket, we can in turn turn around and donate to a youth or nonprofit group and make sure that young folks are in attendance. So these are just a number of ways to support us. Everything that we do has a HBCU All-Star Scholarship Initiative tied into it. And so that is important, is our ability to give back. And so as you and I know, this national platform, our HBCUs deserve it. We have a great partnership with CBS Sports, along with a number of our corporate partners and our local community supporters there in Phoenix. So just make sure you tune in and locked in. We need your support. Thank you.
Man, Mr. Williams, this was an amazing. Listen, if they didn't know what they say, now they know that this is one of those type of events. Make sure you guys are there, present. March 18th is the roster reveal at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then we going right into the game after that, right? So we're not into the game, but I'm saying like later in the game coming up, but. Make sure you guys are there. I'm gonna do my best to have a watch party. I can't show the game because CBS can't show the game. But we'll have a watch party here. We talk about it, watch the game together as we can, and talk about the game. I'm super excited for it. I'm glad you came on the platform to really break this thing down and how you implement it and how it's touching the community, and its roots are deep in the community of Phoenix and of New Orleans and Houston, because we can see wherever you have left, you're leaving impact, and that's what HBCUs do. They when they let graduates go out into the world, those graduates leave impact, and that's what you're doing with this HBCU All-Star game, which is absolutely amazing. So I just want to say congratulations and keep doing what you're doing, and I can't wait to see what it looks like and what God has planned for you in the next 3 to 4 or 5 years of how big this can really get.
Hey, man, I appreciate you guys. Amazing platform, man. Thank you. Anytime I can support. Hey, great work, man. Y'all keep moving it forward, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, and we'll take an invite. You know what I'm saying? We'll do a live show.
Let me tell you.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't
nothing. The spirit is using me right now. All right? The spirit, I want to tell you, the spirit is using me, and I see the future of what Scotty's saying, a live show. Like, I can see us being a part, giving you the real HBC. I know CBS, right? We like that national, right? Hey, no knocking. But look, we in these HBCU streets.
We're heavy.
I like that. I like it. It's all good. Well, we're gonna circle back on that, my guys.
Come on now. That's the spirit speaking in me now. I'm letting it use me.
I got you, Perry. We got you, Perry. I like you.
Oh man, thank you,
brother, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Mr. Will. You take it easy.
All right, y'all stay blessed, man.
All right, you too. Hey, listen, listen, while he was talking, I was like, won't he do it? Said he would. Oh, come on now. You know what I'm saying? I'll be up there. I like Phoenix. I ain't never been, but I like Phoenix. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, I like a little Phoenix.
You get us in there, we do the show. We got all those people he talking about. They come talk. It's like Radio Row at the Super Bowl.
Too easy. You know what I'm saying? Too easy.
Fool around to do a 5-hour show.
Just behind the scenes, interviewing players coming up, talking about their experience at here. We could do the whole pregame show before the CBS. You know what I'm saying?
I'm trying to tell you, the spirit was. I was trying to contain myself.
Man,
look, it was trying to come up out me.
It seemed like a no nonsense to me. I was just like, it seemed like a no brainer to me.
Let me ask you this: to hear something well organized, put together. The fact, the way how he spoke about it.
Don't even get me going, man.
All right, then. I won't get you going.
Ask the question, though.
Huh?
Ask the question, though.
But to be so transparent about everything and letting you know the partnership, what we're doing, what ways can we do better, what ways have we gotten better. Representing and respecting the names of the legacy, bringing that legacy to the present, making the community. I mean, just hell, for 30 minutes he spoke about, we didn't even have to ask any question because he put it all together for us, the puzzle. Yeah. And for you to hear that, what ways do you think that can grow across the spaces? And let's just use classics, let's just use events and all types of things.
I mean, if you hear, okay, like when you're listening to him talk about the event, you're hearing the funding that he's getting from multiple sponsors. We've partnered with BAM. We've partnered with Archwood. We've partnered with CBS. Like, you're just hearing all these partnerships and the taking over of everything. And the things we have talked about, you're implementing the community within the event.
You know something I haven't seen, though? I haven't seen the conferences or the schools promoting it.
Now, mind you, and we talking about all four of them jokers: SIC, CIAA, MEAC, SWAC, right? And it's still, and the fact of the matter is for me, in this tournament game, he should be making his rounds, right? Like at the semifinals, the championship game, he should be on the sideline with them. You know how like them ESPN commentators do, and they sit him down and hey, we got Travis Williams here, and he's like, hey, yeah, we got the HBCU All-Star game coming up, whoop, whoop, whoop. He should be making his rounds to all the conference championships. He should have been at the CIAA championship. He should have been at the SIAC He should have, because some of these players,
I think he actually was. He was at one of those conferences. I saw it on social media, but
yeah.
You know, my thing is with the impact, this is where that umbrella that we talk about once again on how it all has to be connected, and it makes it hard when one has to do something to carry the load and ain't nobody else seem like they really to pick up and help you carry the load. Every athletic department within all of these four conferences should have been promoting this continuously throughout the season. They all should be saying, hey, the HBCU All-Star game, the conference as a whole. Yeah. And when you see a disconnect like that, what would you say could be an answer on why?
I think the disconnect is that people don't legitimize it because it's not white. Yeah. I'm sorry. I really feel that. If that was a white man, if it was a white man or somebody that's associated with the NCAA who's putting this on and doing everything he's doing, then I feel like they will legitimize it. It's the fact that he's a black man and he is doing it to the level. And see, the thing about it is, what makes it even worse, P, is he's gone through the system. He's been at Tennessee State. He's been at Fort Valley State. When you talk about somebody who understands the culture, and it's like, now I want to put the culture on a big platform. How can you not respect what his resume says? I've done it. You get what I'm saying? So to me, I agree with you, right? It should be, and something like you would say is every sports department should be like HBCU All-Star list and put their top players.
And you should be pushing your player for that.
You get what I'm saying? Like, you know, like FAMU and Ariana Grizzle. Right? Like if he had a women's basketball game, I'm pushing her times 10 because she's leading the monthly scoring. She's doing this, she's doing that. Right. But what's crazy is I think this event, and I really think this event would have been bigger if it was women's basketball, because women's basketball is really taking it to another level. Men's basketball it's not really hitting on like women's basketball is. So I think this event would have been, think about this. If he would have had 3 girls from Jackson State and had some girls from Norfolk State, how big this game would have been. Because you want to see the top, because you know these girls' names. You know Maya Crump. You know Angel Jackson. You know Latoya Luckett. I'm sorry. It's Luckett. I know it's Luckett. You know what I'm saying? But it ain't no Latoya, right? And then you have the girls from Norfolk, and then you have all these players, right? You have Zay from UAPB. You have the Tennessee State girls. You have all these name brand females that are out here who are doing big things, right? So I think the game would have been bigger with women, but you got to start somewhere. And the fact that the fact of the matter is that the fact that the individual athletic departments are not pushing it, like you said, and putting the charts and graphics of why our player should be an HBCU All-Star when it's for you. This is the stuff people argue about. Oh, we don't got nothing for us. We don't. But when the man is putting it on a platter for you, you don't even want to promote his stuff. Like I said, don't get me going.
That's what we're here for. This is the conversation, because there's no way we can sit here and listen to this type of event and everything that's surrounding it and then figure, well, why haven't, a lot of people saying, well, I didn't know. But we look for our institutions and our schools for information. Now, the big problem is a lot of people have with this show, because we bring things, and I know for sure you bring things to the light that ultimately, like every other school, they put their head in the ground like an ostrich and just wait on something to pass and then pull it out. Right. But in this case, being able to have that information, put it out there for people, then you can fact check it. Go watch and see what happened the past 2 years. Go to the website, then go to your school's athletic page, go to the SWAC page, and then see, do you see anything of mention of this game, period. The same way I felt towards the Legacy Bowl. I felt even with the Legacy Bowl coming, and you know what it is in terms of putting those players in a position. You did not see the support from the athletic department's pages, nor did you see the support from the SWAC.
Yeah.
And that's the disconnect that I'm wondering, that how do we make this all come together? Because if it's for HBCU, we carry that torch all the time on here. We got to stick together. One Hillman. It don't seem so when you really look at us all together. We all still disconnected. It's like being in a room with everybody, but everybody on their phone, right?
Oh, that's a bar.
We're together.
That's a bar.
But we not together. Everybody on their phone in their own world, but we sitting in the same room. We all doing different things. Let
me ask you this, though. I'm going to throw it back to you, P. If he was over the Legacy Bowl, how do you think that would look?
I don't know.
Because I don't like the structure of the Legacy Bowl. I hate it. Because it ain't nothing. If you're not going for the football game, there ain't no reason to go. And the game ain't really that good. You get what I'm saying? So it's like there is no other event going on for the Legacy Bowl. Like if it is, it's not being promoted, right? There is no black vendors around the Legacy Bowl or at Tulane Stadium. There ain't no black vendors.
Well, I take it one step further.
They got a college fair. They do got a college fair.
I'll take it one step further. Just our conference tournaments, the SWAC tournament in Birmingham, right? You look at the MEAC tournament is in Norfolk. Just being able to put somebody in place who understands the grand scheme of it all and not just looking one site into something. I mean, I will go back and I would say, isn't this what Dion was saying at SWAC Media Day? When he was looking around the room and he was saying what ways we can do this. Look at the banner, look at the seats, I'm just going back, but it's the attention to detail.
Yeah.
And when someone like him can speak for almost 30 minutes talking about it was the attention to detail and just saying, we got a game. Come watch.
Come on out.
Us the detail, the in and out, and that's what I said. When people give you the details, and that means you want me to really know and understand what's going on, and you saying things to the point that we can go fact check that, right? So if there is anything that isn't true, we can look at it. The problem is when we hear things often that people speak of, whether it's a conference commissioner or whether it's an AD or a coach, and they say things, and we go back and fact check it, and it don't make sense, you can't be upset. Yeah. We paid attention to the detail, and we were able to go look at what you said and hold you accountable. My whole point is be upfront, and if you want people to be a part of something, like everybody who was listening to him, as they listened to what he said and the information that he gave, it sold them on what he was selling.
Yeah.
And if we're trying to sell our brand, sell our institutions, sell our student athletes, first of all, because think about how much this can come back when you start talking about NIL. How much this can come back when you want kids to come to your school and you present, hey, if you do good with what we do, football, you can go play at the Legacy Bowl on NFL Network. Basketball, you can go play on CBS Sports during the NCAA Final Four. Yeah. Baseball did last year in Seattle playing at the MLB All-Star Game. It'll be in Arlington this year.
With King Griffey Jr., I wanted to go there. So I wanted to be at that game so bad, bro. God, dog, I love King Griffey Jr.
Think about all of these things that we have in place that are pedestals, and that's on MLB Network. So all of these major networking backing that we have for our players, but the very players that we're looking to help, the institutions ain't doing nothing to boost them up, nor the events or the conference. That's why I just don't understand the disconnect. When you have these huge, you have the ears of the NCAA doing Final Four. You have the ears of the NFL doing the Legacy Bowl. You have the ears of MLB doing the All-Star Game weekend. And all of these big name, big money people that surround. Why aren't we making these networks? This is the time where I start to grow my conference and my institution, because let me tell you, if I have a player, and I think Southern does have a player on the watch list, Brandon Day. Guess what? If I'm the AD, I'm there. And I'm in every meeting room where Travis is saying, man, can you introduce me to this guy?
Yeah.
Who is this?
Yeah.
I need to talk to them. Yeah, I got a player that's in this game. You know, we got some more players. We got a brand. We got so much more. I want to invite you to Southern. Come to homecoming.
Yeah, that's
Come
good.
to a basketball game.
That's good, P. That's good, P. That's good.
So that's the networking ability. I know people are busy, but you can't be too busy if you say we don't have nothing. And you got opportunities to go.
Say that again. You can't be too busy if you say what, P? Say that again.
You can't be too busy if you don't have nothing, where you can go be with the people who do have something. It's no excuse.
Yo, I love that. That's a good one. That's a good
And
one.
I know this stuff may sound easy, because I know if there's an AD, if there's a commissioner, they're going to say
something.
To it.
Something. I mean, P, it's not hard when it's not hard when you're not doing anything. You don't know how hard something is until you actually try to do it. But when you're not doing anything,
it don't take nothing to make a post and a share and a like.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
I get on people's nerves from as much as I post. So I know it takes nothing to make a post, a share, and a like.
That's it. That's it. But I love the fact of what you're doing when you said about having your AD there and networking, rubbing elbows with Travis and understanding who he's talking to, who he's partnering with, and how it can benefit my institution and my athletic department. That's how these games work. And he even said it. It's who you know.
And you look at, he dealing with that in Phoenix. Then you got the Legacy Bowl and all of these NFL and names that come around you. You got the guys coming down while you have the NFL network. Then you got the MLB All-Star Game with the HBCU All-Star Game right there in it. What? You think I don't want to go talk to Ken Griffey, whose son played at FAMU?
Yeah.
And introduce me to all of these people. Matter of fact, where is the commissioner of the league? Who are the owners of the team? Who just all of these big time opportunities. And not only that, the corporate people, the money.
I'm gonna go to the Tampa Bay Rays. Hey, FAMU, we got a damn good baseball program. We would love to have you sponsor it. Would love to.
Or whoever that's representing some corporate company or entity that has money. That obviously you hear a part of this. You're saying you're supporting HBCUs, right? You hear you're part of this event. The professional league obviously caught your attention and got your ear to where you're here to support the event. Now, I'm the commissioner. Let me introduce you to the AD at Southern University. Let me introduce you to the AD over at Prairie View.
But see,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good. But let's take it a step further, right? Because you said it a while ago with Emory. You said the infrastructure, right? Now let's keep all things in this and let's keep all things in parameters, right? If I'm an AD who already feels that I don't know what I'm doing, I can't negotiate a great deal. You know what I'm saying? And then I have a commissioner on top of that don't know what he's doing. Walking into that room could probably be the most intimidating aspect in my life because I don't know for real. I don't know what to say. I don't know what I'll give you a great example. I have been interviewing production companies, right? And I talked to this one black dude, and he was asking me questions about my business, bro. I did not know. I legit did not know. Like, I'm just like, yo, he's like, you don't know this? You don't know this? You don't know this? How are you going around asking production companies this, but you don't know this? So it made me have to reevaluate myself and say, what do I really know and how much do I need to grow in my knowledge base? So I can only imagine if I'm walking into a room with a billionaire or I'm walking into a marketing exec who has millions behind his his title that he's able to spend, and I don't understand the marketing business, how can I have a conversation?
The difference is you're independent. You're on your own. You out here having to learn like what I did when I got on my own, having to learn when I had to understand the structure of a contract and what it is, just learning something simple as a retainer, right? It's not even, and it's just those types of things. As I started to go through the process, I learned. The same thing with ADs. That should be, by the time you are AD, the process should have gone where you learned what it was like to be an SID, where you went through the process of everything because they don't call it trust the process for nothing. Then in turn, that's where our alums have to be accountable with the people that you have in place, right? That's why you have to show up and ask them questions and see, can they handle those type of questions? Because, I'm not going to pick on it, but we saw that with Florida A&M's AD as we was listening to that meeting, and then they put her on the spot and said, well, what are you doing in terms of fundraising? And when she went to raffle tickets, that kind of was just like, she was not even ready to be put on the spot. But at the highest level in athletics, you're supposed to have this forward thinking and this vision for the program for all sports and how we're supposed to bring in money and what we're going to do. The people I've sat down and talked, because when you're talking to a board, at this point, everything's out on the table, especially when your job is on the line or people are here to critique and put you in position to make you try to embarrass you. People would do that. So you have to be able to put yourself in a position to be ready. And if you're in a position to be the top person, I expect nothing less. I'm not going to ask the SID, what are we doing in terms of fundraising? That's not their job that's their job to put that out there. But first it has to go through proper protocol of the people from the top who have these meetings, who do everything and then make it all the way down. My whole point is our ADs, our presidents, chancellors, this should be an opportunity that when you listen to young brothers who want to be involved, who want to do things, and there's so many other folks out there, don't run people off or run them away because you don't understand or quite at the level of what they're talking about. Learn how to bring people in. We talked about this before with the athletic departments. It's not hard when you want to talk about apparel. Some of these schools have fashion departments. You want to talk about PR, marketing, you got a marketing department. You got a mass comm and public relations department, right? You got to go right to what you have there and to utilize it. And then guess what? Train up what you have. If I plant a seed in the ground, I just can't leave it there. I have to show it some love. I have to make sure I water it. I have to cultivate it. Then for it to one day, because it grow does not mean it's going to bloom. It could just be a stem with nothing on it. I have to cultivate it and make sure I do the right things for it to get its full potential. And then once it blooms, you look at how beautiful it is. Roses don't always grow from the concrete. There are opportunities for it to happen, but because it's such a rare thing, that's why when you hear about it, it's like, damn, a rose grew from the concrete. But if you can plant these seeds and start doing these necessary things at our institution, it starts from within. Then when you learn that connectivity from within, the connectivity becomes so much easier once you start to look around the conference and everything else and putting it all together on how we operate and how we handle and do business.
Now, see, this is the thing, and this is what I'm saying, and I'm gonna keep saying this, and I'm gonna keep preaching it. If the head guy, no homo, if the top guy, right, does not understand business, because all these ADs, and I don't care what nobody says, except Ashley, all these ADs are scared of the commissioner. All of them, except it was the dude from Grambling and Ashley. Those are the only two people that are not scared of the commissioner. The rest of these Bamas, they're fearful of the commissioner. How can you be fearful of somebody who knows just as less as you? The only reason he's in the position is because they're like, hey, man, you cool. We know you. Hey, go ahead and do your thing. That's how he got the job in the first place. So to me, it's like if the top guy does not understand business, or the top guy does not surround himself, because listen, I've heard from multiple high value guys. They say, Scotty, if you're the smartest person in the room, you need a new room. You need a new room. Because nobody's going to push you, nobody's going to challenge you, and nobody's going to challenge your thinking. because you're the smartest guy in the room. It's the wrong answer, right? Smart people know to be around smart people. That's what makes them smart. Because you're going to teach me something that I don't know. And I'm not an expert in everything, right? So when you have a guy who it doesn't think like that, and then you have other minions below him that don't think like that, and the mindset just trickles down. It just trickles down. So I'm going to keep saying it until I can't say it no more. Until you change the top, nothing else can come, because you're always going. If you had a new AD next year, right? Who's a business-minded guy, who's ran companies, who's ran marketing departments, you know what his pushback is going to be? From the commissioner who doesn't understand it. He can only do so much, because the commissioner is going to keep telling him, you can't do that. Why are you doing this? We don't do that here. And he's going to get frustrated and leave. Why you think Gaucher left? You get what I'm saying? Like, I got a president who gonna try to tell me what he don't know. He a nuclear physicist. Boy, you ain't never seen an activation sheet. You don't even know what that is. You a nuclear physicist. You don't know what sport. You don't even know what a shotgun is, my boy. You don't know what a 3x2. You don't know anything about sports, but you're gonna tell me how to do my job. And then you got a commissioner who know he effed up. He goes at your president who don't know shit. Now the president throw it back on you. Now you out of a job. Now you at Tulane making twice as much money with twice the less headache.
It should be the opposite way around, because the power shouldn't come from the top. The power should come from the alums. The alums hold your president accountable. The president who hires the AD holds the AD accountable. And the presidents who get together collectively and hire the commissioner then holds them accountable. It starts from the bottom up. It shouldn't be the top all the way down, but because we yell, we support, we yell, we are this strong. And now I'm holding the people, not only the admins and commissioner accountable, I'm holding the alums and the supporters and lovers of these institutions. That's why you got to be a part of your alumni federations. This is why you have to show up to things in order to understand what's going on, and don't be afraid to hold people accountable.
Facts.
And when you hold people accountable, you turn people head. And when you turn people head, people start to realize, you know what? I got to listen. Notice when you watch politicians, and this is real, the politicians in the black community compared to the politicians in the white community, right? They'll come to your church and everywhere else and preach to you about, hey, vote for me in the black community. Once they get in there, you look at that hood, right? Have the sidewalks been put down? Nope. You know, have the streets been repaved? Are the lights off the ropes? You know, are the street lights up? But I bet you believe when you go look at that other side of town, and whoever them white folks put into place, they got brand new street. Matter of fact, they got bike lanes, right? A bike lane. They got walking paths for you to walk your dog. It's the minute things that they're going to hold them accountable, because you know what? They're going to show up to that city council meeting.
Yeah,
they're going to show up to that school board meeting. Why this school needs this and need that? Well, when you look at our community, it's a reason why when you drive, you look around, you be like, damn. Because don't nobody care. It's the reason why when we wonder what's going on with the quote unquote inner city schools, why things so damn, because you ain't showing it. Hell, you barely can get you to a parent teacher conference. Let alone, who on here the last time you went to a school board meeting? Who on here the last time you went to a city council meeting?
That's good.
Who on here the last time you showed up to your alumni national conference?
You preaching, Perry. You preaching.
Because everybody got to be accountable. I as much as I can put this on the commissioners and the ADs and the presidents, it starts with us. What they say before you can hold anybody else accountable, take a step and look in the mirror and look at yourself.
That's good.
And that's what we have to do. So until we change that, this is a direct reflection of our everyday communities. And you see it transition right over to what we consider the educational field. And you're seeing the same thing happen when you look at how things are structured and how things are being carried out.
That's good. No, that's good, Pete. That's real good. Man, listen, if you just joined us, we had Travis Williams on the show, CEO and founder of the HBCU All-Star Game. Make sure you guys check it out and go into the attendance. It's in Phoenix, Arizona. It is on April 7th of 2024 in Phoenix, Arizona. Make sure you're there. Great event, great man, great conversation with him. I mean, man, the details, like Perry kept saying, the details, right? The details. All right, let's get into a little hot and viral. Now, Perry, I was listening to Ricky Smiley in the morning today. And when I take my kids to school, we always listen to Ricky Smiley in the morning. And he says Special K was talking about a time where he had a hoopty and he was on a first date and he ran out of gas. And Ricky Smiley was like, everybody has ran out of gas. Now, I've never ran out of gas. Listen, not in my life. But Special K said his fuel pump was broke, so he couldn't gauge when it was low or whatever because it was broke. My question to you is, have you ever ran out of gas?
Hell yeah. Hey, man. And people, the realization, people have been broke before. Okay, let's not, we live in this world where everybody act like they got it. We've all, this facade, man. Hell, y'all have been broke. I'm talking about trying to push it. You see that thing, either you got the digital screen where it's been on 0 to pass how many ever miles, or you got the real thing where it's below the E, like you see right there. And I'm just trying to get to where I need to get. I'm talking about trying to push it until that thing get to jerking. And you push down on that gas pedal, and it ain't giving you nothing you want. You just go ahead and you go on, force that thing over to the right. Lock up on you. It'll lock up on you. Now you gotta go on, turn it on.
Oh man. Listen, she said, I know my car. I know my car. Listen, so I've never ran out of gas. That's never happened to me, right? I just can't even fathom running out of gas. But let me tell you this story. My mama used to have a 92 Volvo, and she just wouldn't let it go. She would not let it go. Now, mind you, this is like 2008 now, because the 92 Volvo, she bought it from Switzerland. She got it from the Volvo headquarters in Switzerland, got it shipped over to the States. You know what I'm saying? So that was like her trophy car. That was her big purchase when she was in the military. So she loved it. I mean, fully decked out, leather, everything. And you name it, it had it, right? So now we're in 2008, and the car is just old at this point. And it would shut off on her. Like, we would be at the light, and she would have to put it in neutral and just keep revving it, or it would shut off. So one time we're on the highway, and she's in the middle lane, and she's flying, and next thing you know, it just goes choo 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 choo. And I look at her, she look at me. I said, I know this car did not just shut off. And my mom like, see if I can get over. I'm out the window like, hey, dog, I was so scared. I don't know how you, man, that's the last time I rode my mom in that car, period. That's the absolute last time I've ever rode with my mom in that car. That thing was a death trap after that. She kept it for another 2 years, but how do y'all even just go through that? I can't even imagine, bro. I've
been broke before, bro. I mean, this world and everybody act like, you've been young just trying to get to point A to point B, just off the street. I've been there. So 89 Buick LeSabre I had an 89 Buick LeSabre, man, and I was at UAPB, and this was my freshman year. Whoever got the car, everybody trying to hop in. We trying to get to where we get, man. And man, shit, I think we was able to scrap up $5 on gas, and and $5 wasn't nothing on gas then.
Hey,
yeah, so we trying to get to where we getting, bro. Look, that $5 we thought was gonna get us where we was going, and didn't. Like you said, you looked at your mama and she looked at you. Everybody looked at me and I looked at them like, hell, all we could come up with was $5, all of us together. And I'm trying to get us there. We couldn't get there. So we ended up having to call somebody, and we made it work. Got a gas can. And that's the worst when you don't have the gas can. Now, so it's one thing to run out of gas and you got a gas can. but don't have the gas can, you in a whole nother world of trouble. Because now how the hell we gonna get this gas? So y'all been there before. Man, ain't no, bruh. Hell yeah. There ain't no shame in my game for sure.
Have you ran? When he said it, I was like, I never ran out of gas. You know what I'm saying? But I get it because he's like everybody ran. I was like, nah, not me. I wanted to ask that question. I thought that was that.
Judge me how you like, but Perry White is run out of gas, not just one time, but multiple times for sure. So it happens, bro. For real.
Oh man, listen, the Maya, she said gave up. The Bible gave up. All I could think about was when Jesus gave up the ghost. When Jesus died on the cross and gave it up the ghost. Yeah, that Bible. Listen, I was so happy when my mom. And let me tell you this though, Pete. This was what's so worse about the Volvo story. My mom in 2007, my senior year, she bought a Range Rover. So the Range Rover, she just didn't drive it. It was a Sunday car. She would only drive the Range Rover to church and come back. And then on top of that, when she would when people would come over or like when she would have like handyman to come over and do work at the car and do on the house or whatever, she would park the Range Rover down the street just so he wouldn't up the price on her. I said, come on, Mom. Like, what are we like? So I'm like, Mom, why are you putting yourself through this? You got a whole Range Rover at the house. You driving on the highway with a 92 Volvo with it had over 300,000 miles on it.
I tell you what I do these days. I don't let that gas hand get below half. That's the God's honest truth. Hey, nowadays, I do not let my gas hand get below half. Once it get touching half, we go get back on F. We got to fill it back up.
Easy. I'm not going through that. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. There's a last thing before we get up out of here. There's a strip of road between Dallas and New Orleans. Not New Orleans. From Shreveport to Dallas. And you got that long stretch of road. It's like, I know it's 20 East, but it's like right past Texarkana. Let me tell you something. If you don't fill up, you will be stranded. And if anybody's taking that trip from Texarkana, it's like Texarkana, it's like Shreveport, Texarkana, Shreveport. No, it depends on how you go it. Because if you go up, it's Texarkana, but if you go across, Shreveport. No, it's Shreveport. If you go from Shreveport to Dallas, if you don't fill up, you're going to be stuck. You're going to be stuck. You will be stuck because it ain't no gas. It's literally just like land, and you just driving. It's ridiculous. I listen. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Tyler, Texas, and Marshall. Don't do it. I've been there. Yeah, come on. Don't do it. And listen, anybody taking that trip, they know. Do not do it. Because you ain't going to see nothing until you hit about Tyler. But yeah, it ain't. Yeah, that ain't it. Before Tyler, Texas. So once you get it, once you get into Tyler, I'm about an hour and a half from Dallas. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? But right before Tyler and going to Shreveport, you better be on F. Okay, you better be on F because you are not going to make it. I'm trying to tell you, you will not make it. All right, Barry, I want to get your opinion. Now, my good friend Lionel, who I was talking about when Prairie View don't got no fans, he made this shirt for the 12 fans, and look what he put on the back. He said 2024. You know what? I gotta blow this up so y'all can really see the foolishness that my man, he went all out. He said, we coming for everything. Let me see. I got it in. I downloaded it. Let me see. Because I wanna really show y'all the foolishness that is going out here in these HBCU streets. Here we go. I got it right here. Nope, that's not it. Let me see. Boom, 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 boom. Here we go. All right. So you can really see the back of this. I'm gonna share the screen. And he got the let me zoom in. Look, PV versus everybody. December 7th, 2024, Prairie View, Texas. He said he calling his shot.
They're gonna be sending them shirts to somewhere in Africa. When it's all said and done, gonna be some kids down in Argentina talking about why not PV on their chest.
Oh, pass them out. Pass them out. Listen, you know, I know people was like, with Scotty, fam, you called their shot. They were in the game. They were already talking about saving the swag because they was in the game. You can't call your shot before the season? Before the season? Oh, that's big time. That's big time. I can't. Listen, I told them I'm going to buy a shirt, and every time they lose, I'm going to be like, what y'all supposed to be?
I would have put Quest to the 2024 SWAC championship. You know, like the Quest. They just said Operation something on the video, wasn't it? You know, so
yeah.
This is why you're losing the battles, because come on, man. There's bold, but hey, why not? Hell yeah, why not though? Look, at the same time, I'm gonna be funny about it and be comical, but then why not? Why not?
Because it's PV. That's why not. That's why. They're answering the question in the statement. Why not PV? Why PV? Why would it be PV? That's my. And I need him to keep all that energy. Every time they lose a game, I'm gonna just point. This is why not PV, because you lost. That's why. Why not PV? I tell you that right now. So, I just thought that was something that very intriguing to me. And lastly, on Hot Viral, let's talk about some of these major moves. You got Kirk Cousins going to the Falcons. You got Russ going to the Steelers, and you got Saquon going to the Eagles. What are some of your thoughts on these moves, P?
You remember when we had this conversation back before the NFL season was over? We was talking about Pittsburgh, and we were comparing, saying, you know, could you take a Brock Purdy and put him other places? It started at a whole conversation of what quarterbacks can do for an organization. And Pittsburgh was one of the teams that we talked about. Seemed like they have all the intangibles to be a deep playoff team. What were they missing?
Yeah.
Quarterback, a good quarterback. And I think if Russ can come in and be a Russ of Seattle, not Russ of Denver, but if he can come and be and find himself, and I think you got to play with a chip on your shoulder. You saw how Sean Payton and the Broncos did you, and you never kind of felt the love between the organization, the coaching, and Russ. Russ was trying to do what he could, but I think now you put Russ in this situation to be with Pitt. I think this is a good move. And I look at the rest of them. I mean, Jalen Hurts now has Saquon Barkley to hand the ball off to. I like to see that. I think he can help, especially opening up the run game. Kirk Cousins, I just always felt he got disrespected from. I just never felt like Kirk Cousins quite got the love maybe he could have gotten. But out of all of these, I'm going with Russ over Pitt. This is the one I like the most. I want to see Pitt already can do enough with seem like nothing. Put Russ in the fold, give him a chance to gel and grow. Let's see what they look like with Russ back there, a veteran quarterback.
I listen. I think it's between Russ and Saquon. Saquon, listen, he's just dynamic, and the thing about it is, we played the Giants, right? We played Giants twice every year. They had nobody but Saquon. So now you put Saquon on the Eagles with AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts, and all, you just make it easier for him to be Saquon. I think it's going to be an easier transition for him. I think it's going to be a very great fit because they do a lot of RPO and a lot of that. I think it works well. With Russell, I think what works for him is that Mike Tomlin is going to give him great balance, right? He's not going to pull the Sean Payton stuff where he's calling them out every week after week after week. I think it's going to be a lot more comfortable for him. The thing about it is they do need more talent at the wide receiver position. I like Pickens, but they need more talent at the wide receiver position. And I think if you just ask Russell Wilson just to be a great game manager and make plays in the fourth quarter when you need him to, I think it's a great fit. Kirk Cousins, I think Kirk Cousins is just getting paid to be average. Like I don't know what else to say. The man is made over $400 million being average. one playoff win in 12 years. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? And he's had some great teams and has some great talent, absolutely great talent, right? So I'm off the Kirk Cousins. I think the Falcons have a really great offensive team with Drake and Bijan and the tight end from Florida. But Kirk Cousins is he's just Kirk Cousins. Let me say this, because people have been talking about my Cowboys, and listen, I'm not liking what I'm seeing, because I thought we should go after Derrick Henry. I thought that would have been a great fit for the Cowboys. I am hurt. Okay, when I tell you I am hurt right now, because we don't have Tony Pollard. We lost our backup center. Well, who was our starting center, right? We lost Michael Gallup. We're about to trade him. Listen, I'm going to say this. I'm sick and tired of people telling me that Dak needs more talent. And I'm like, damn, how much else do you need when you got C.J. Stroud over there killing Bama's with rookies and Nico Collins? Who the hell is a Nico Collins, right? And you got 2 Pro Bowl receivers, a Pro Bowl running back, a rookie, all rookie team tight end, and you get drugged by Green Bay, who didn't have no 1,000-yard receiver. So listen, man, I'm telling you right now, I am so off of the Cowboys. I'm like, I'll be surprised if I watch one game.
No.
I'm upset.
Stop it, bro.
I'm just upset.
Stop it. This is Cowboy
really
fans every year. This
I'm
ain't nothing new. This is the shit y'all do every year.
I'm mad.
When you get the off season, wait till that first preseason game.
Man.
Wait till that first game of the season. You're gonna be back, and this is our year. Y'all been doing this for 20 plus years, Scotty. Come on, man. So
I'm just sick of it, man. I'm sick of it, because the Cowboys have a way that they go about doing their offseason stuff. We don't overpay for free agents. We don't do this. The Eagles be out here trading their life away, and they get Super Bowls. We over here bargain bin shopping at TJ Maxx looking for talent. And we lose every time. I don't get it. I'm sorry, man.
You do get it. This ain't nothing new. I don't know how y'all be. This is why I'm saying y'all be living in this world. And I ain't gonna get on the Cowboys too much, because you my boy and I know that's your team. But that's the delusion. You be talking about Jackson State fans and the delusion. Cowboys are the direct reflection. Y'all are delusional. And then when the offseason, y'all do all this hooping and hollering, and y'all been hooping and hollering for 20 plus years about the same thing. And then the first thing y'all would yell out, I don't get it. How you don't get it after 20 years?
We in a marriage and not satisfied. That's what we in a marriage and we're not satisfied. We love them, you know what I'm saying? Because it's death do you part, but you know, you're not satisfied, man. It could be better. Who your team, Perry? Saints?
You know, to be honest, I'll tell y'all a story. I don't have a favorite NFL team.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, I have favorite players. I never really grew up having a favorite NFL team. And one of my boys, who granddad retired from being an NFL ref, he told me this years ago when I was younger, because I used to ask him, how do you know, is it hard when you're going into games and having a favorite team? Because, of course, I like college football a lot more. And he was saying, you know, how could I be loyal to a team that the player's not loyal to? And now, because I'm starting to see college football used to have this passion that I felt that a player committed to a school, and it was because of the passion that he wanted to be there. College football, for me, going into the future, is starting to turn into where I didn't really like the NFL, where it wasn't necessarily the passion of the school that you wanted to go play for. It's the passion of whoever going to pay you the most money. I'm starting to see that, and I don't quite have that same. I don't know if I'm losing a little love for college football a little bit because of that, but it's kind of on par where I see in the future. That's where it's too many guys just jumping all over the place. I love teams for the guys who committed to those teams.
Yeah, that's fair.
Does that make sense?
No, I get it. You that's that traditional college mentality, because I came from an NFL mentality. The reason I didn't like college football is because every 4 years it was, or every other year is a whole new team, or like every 4 years, like you can have a player in the NFL for like 10 years, you know what I'm saying? Like 8. So you kind of get caught up in their story, and that's your favorite player and all that. So it was a different mindset. I'm like, I gotta learn somebody new every year. Every year I gotta learn somebody new. That's frustrating. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I couldn't get into college before I started covering HBCU football. So that's why I was.
It used to mean something when a guy committed and said, I'm going to wherever for the next 4 years, because you knew for the next 4 years at least 3 of those, that guy was there.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like what Tyrann Mathieu said recently when he spoke about having to play behind Patrick
Claiborne.
Peterson and Claiborne, saying that was the essence that made me better, knowing I was behind these guys. That pushed me to be great. That's the essence of why I like college football. When you saw that guy when they first recruited him and he signed, they said, man, this is the future. But, you had some guys that currently are the future right there ahead of him. And to watch that development, I like development of players. And I like to watch a guy come in as a young, raw talent and work his way up to be that developed guy ready, whether it's for the next level or he just balled out in terms of whatever league he was playing in a conference. That's the essence of college football for me. I enjoy development and I enjoy watching development. I think the transfer portal for me is kind of seem like it's taken away from the full potential of the development. And it's just guys, instead of saying I can sit and work on my craft to get better, well, I'm just going to jump over here to where I can automatically probably get this start without having to work on possibly getting better or learning. Sitting behind somebody make you work, bro.
Sometimes it does. Sometimes it's favoritism.
It is favoritism.
So it's, what I'm saying, I don't like to paint a broad structure, what I'm saying, because you can make it all fit your narrative if that's the narrative you're going with. There's so many variables that's why I think there's so many variables of good to the transfer portal. That's why I'm always for player choice, because coaches get that choice. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no doubt. Now, no doubt.
You see what I'm saying? And I used to hate where if you live in Auburn, if your coach didn't sign off for you to go to Alabama, you couldn't transfer. I'm like, why are you able to dictate my life like that? I can't stop you from getting a job at Podunk Town and Podunk University, right? So that's why I subscribe to player freedom. So I'm just like, hey man, listen, you a grown ass man. So if you leave FAMU and go to FIU and it don't work out for you, that's life. Okay. This is life.
Yeah. And I agree with that. So yeah. It's a slippery slope, but I'm just saying for the passion, right? The passion on why I truly love the essence of college football at that time. But with all due things, you evolve, you get with the program, you learn a new world, and you either get left behind or you move forward. So
That's facts. All right, let's move on. But we doing it in an elite way. So when you do it in an elite way, Elite 15 Coffee. Veteran-owned, black-owned business. Listen, everything today's show has been elite. The interview, right? Have you ran out of gas? Elite. Why not PV? Somewhat elite. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we do here. All right. So make sure you get yourself some Elite 15 coffee. Link in description below. Veteran-owned, black-owned business. You want to support. Let's support our own. And they do have K-Cups. For all you K-Cup Bammers. All right. They do have K-Cups. Let's talk a little bit on this Calamity. The cups that go in the little Keurigs. They call K-Cups.
Oh, okay.
All right, I'm going to have to speed this up because I got a meeting at 2:30. So I didn't know the interview was going to go that long. But let's talk a little bit of the Columbia Calamity. All right? Got a quick snippet. I just want to get your thoughts on it. So that's all. I got to keep it under 10 seconds. So that's why I had to chop it up like this. I absolutely love this. Okay? Like the way she came up and laid us. Boom! Oh, I loved it when I saw it. What was your thoughts?
College basketball. Look, I was actually excited about this game when it took place. I went to the first time South Carolina and LSU played here in Baton Rouge, came down to the wire. It was a great game. It just gave you everything you wanted in terms of excitement of the build-up. This game was the same way. I made sure I tuned in to watch this game from beginning to the end. And when you just saw two physical teams with the mentality, because this is championship mentality. This is, hey, don't play with me. No, don't play with me. And you see it boiled over, but then you realize at the end, once it was over, the respect. Hey, man, this is what it is. Flage elbowed the girl damn near in her neck.
Yeah.
And she took it well and turned around. And then guess what? This is what it's all about when they say you and as Coach Odom say, well, I'm in that foxhole with you. So when you're starting to talk about being in battle with somebody, you got your teammate back. If you're walking up and you see somebody do your teammate like that, you got to stand up for your teammate. We're a team. Yeah. And this is where teams, hey, you talking about the gel and the chemistry? This is the best time of the year to get it. Because now you got to go on that run. This is it. Now, one game, you home. Yeah. So this show us, hey, let's work together. I like this. I like the energy. I like the aggression. It ain't for everybody, right? It it ain't for everybody, but for me, especially for women's basketball, I like to see that. It wasn't no pretty girl game. This was hard-nosed basketball.
It was. And listen, I loved what Cardoza did. I really did. And I know Dawn has stated that's not our team, which I know that's not what she teaches. But at the end of the day, I gotta let you know that I'm not here to play with you. And it's okay. She's going for the 16 versus the 1. You get what I'm saying? Like, she's not out for the semifinal game. She's not out for the championship game. She's out for a 16 versus 1, and they've won multiple games without her while she's been playing overseas for the national team, right? Her Brazilian national team. So I love it. I loved her energy. I love what she was about, and I love all the smoke that was coming with Cardoza. Cardoza like, yo, I'm that girl. Now, my issue is Kim Mulkey, and Kim Mulkey, to me, is what white racism looks like. I'm sorry, bro. Like, it's that I'm not saying it, but I'm saying it type of racism where it's just underlying and it's just like, yo, what's your deal? Right? So for her to say what she said and like, I wish she would have pushed Angel Reese. To me, my question is what are you saying about Angel Reese? Right? To where like, oh, she's a fighter or that.
She's from Baltimore is what she's saying.
He is from Baltimore. From Baltimore. You know what I'm saying?
That's what she's saying. Hey.
But Angel Reese didn't want none of that smoke. Angel Reese,
I think, she had just rolled her ankle on the play before. So when she was over there, she was actually on the side dealing with her ankle.
She didn't want no smoke. She didn't want that smoke. They
was going at it the whole game. So that's what I'm saying. You remember Angel Reese threw her hands up and elbowed her in the mouth.
Yeah, listen, that to me, that's a slick shot. That's not where like I wouldn't have been surprised if Angel Reese came back and snuffed her from the back, right? Because that's how Angel Reese get down. Angel Reese gets down where she'll pull your hair on a play, she'll elbow you slightly. Like, you won't be in my face and do that right in my. You it was in the nah. Cardoza straight WWE. I'm off the ropes with mine. Yeah, like I love it. Come get some. And I'm gonna stand over you. What? And and then little Van Leaf gonna come up. What you gonna do, white girl? Nothing.
The funniest part to all of this was when the referee got up out of there. Did you see that?
I got to go.
Y'all don't pay me enough for this shit.
Too much. Okay. I'm out. I'm outie 5,000. I absolutely loved it, man. This is good basketball. Hopefully we can see them in the tournament. All right, let's get into some HBCU tournament play. First up, people got to speed this up really quickly. So just go through the teams and the rankings, and then we'll pick.
All right, we're going with MEAC men.
Yeah.
All right, MEAC men. Let's just go through it real quick. A profile of all the teams that's from top to bottom. Starting with Norfolk State, 21-10 on the season, 11-3 in conference. Their worst loss, Scotty, on the season, 87-50 to Tennessee, but they got a big victory over South Dakota State, 84-65. I'll give them that best win on the season. Coppin State, 2-26, 1-13 in conference.
What? 2-26?
You told me to speed this up.
Damn.
Worst loss on the season for Coppin State. They lost 100-55 to Virginia Tech, their best win on the season. 89-70 victory over University of Maryland, Baltimore County.
UMBC. Yep.
Yeah, you know who that is. Norfolk State on the season, 2-0 versus Coppin State, won 68-58 and 68-66. Let's look at Howard, right? 15-16 on the season, 9-5 in conference play. Their worst loss on the season, I would say a 63-61 loss to Hampton, right? That's your rival. Hampton wasn't good this year, fired their head coach. Best win, a 90-82 victory over North Carolina Central. And then you look at their opponent, Morgan State, 11-19, 7-7 in conference play. Their worst loss, 122-59 to Arizona. Best win, 88-79 victory over North Carolina Central. Both teams split during the regular season where Howard lost to Morgan 85-79, and Howard won the second game 78-72. Let's take a look at North Carolina Central. 17-12, 9-5 in conference. Their worst loss on the season, 99-56 to Kansas. Their best win, 60-58 over Norfolk State. Then you look at Maryland Eastern Shore, 9-19, Scotty, on the season, 4-10 in conference play. Their worst loss, 58-55 to Coppin State in overtime. Their best win on the season, 69-60 over Norfolk State. They are Eastern Shore is 0-2 on the season versus North Carolina Central. Then rounded out South Carolina State 14-17 on the season, 9-5 in conference play. Worst loss on the season, a 96-55 loss to South Florida. Their best win was 71-68 over North Carolina Central. And then Delaware State, who's 13-17, 6-8 in conference play. Worst loss on the season, 79-45 loss to Penn State. A 61-63 win over Grambling was their best win on the season. South Carolina State, 2-0 over Delaware State so far this season.
All righty. Listen, I think this is pretty easy. And the number one is Norfolk. Going into the Howard Morgan State matchup, what you got, P?
Howard, going Norfolk.
No, Howard and Morgan State.
Oh, Howard, Morgan State, going Howard.
Okay. NCCU versus, we're just going down the first row. NCCU versus Maryland, what you got?
North Carolina Central.
And South Carolina State versus whoever that last person is, what you got?
That'll be Delaware State. I'm going to go South Carolina State in that one.
All right, so then we got Norfolk versus Howard. What you got?
I'm going to go Norfolk.
Going Norfolk.
But Howard wouldn't be surprised if they could pull an upset. That's all I would say.
Okay, so you got NCCU versus South Carolina State. What you got?
NCCU.
NCCU. Now you got Norfolk and NCCU. What you got?
Ooh.
That's a great game, by the way.
Ooh.
First time, it was a great game.
Ooh. I'm going to go. This game is in Norfolk, Virginia. I'm going Norfolk State.
Listen, I'm running the table with Norfolk, but I hope NCCU in Norfolk is the championship matchup. That game, the first game was so good. I mean, it was really, really, really good. Cleveland and that point guard that they got for Norfolk is really good. But
I said, behold!
no more pride in us. I say,
They wasn't ready for that one.
They weren't. One more time.
I said, behold!
The green and gold. All right. Now, what's crazy is they done swept both brackets. They got the number one seed in the men's and the number one seed in the women's. Go ahead, P. What you got?
Norfolk State, the number one seed, 24-5 on the season, 13-1 in conference. They're coming into this tournament riding a 12-game win streak. Their worst loss on the season was 74-43 to Minnesota, but their biggest win was a 66-64 victory over William and Mary. Then you look at their opponent, South Carolina State, 2-27, 1-13 in conference play. Their worst loss on the season, 108-48 to Utah. Best win on the season, a 69-61. In which that was their only conference victory over Delaware. They're 0-2. South Carolina State 0-2 against Norfolk State so far this season. You look at the next team, Coppin State, who's 11-17 on the season, 8-6 in conference play. Worst loss on the season. We talked about LSU. They lost to the Tigers of LSU over at Coppin State, 80-48 this year. Their best win was a 70-66 victory over Florida International. Then you look at Maryland Eastern Shore, their opponent, 15-14 overall, 8-6 in conference play. Their worst loss, 78-54 over Seton Hall. Their best win on the season was a 71-64 victory over North Carolina Central. Both these teams, Maryland Eastern Shore and Coppin State, split 1-1 this regular season. Then you move on, you look at Howard, 13-15, 10-4 in conference play. Howard's worst loss was an 87-62 loss to Cincinnati. Their best victory, they're the only team to upset to win against Norfolk. They beat Norfolk State 73-60 earlier this year. And then you look at Morgan State, who's 8-21, 3-11 in conference play. Their worst loss was 104-38 to the number one team in the country, South Carolina. Their best win was against Maryland Eastern Shore, 48-45. Howard 2-0 against Morgan State on the season. Then we close it out with North Carolina Central at 15-14, 8-6 in conference play. Worst loss to the hands of Washington, 113-39. Their best win on the season was against Howard, 3-point victory, 79-76 in overtime. And then Delaware State right there at 8-19, 4-10 in conference play. Worst loss on the season, 105-44 to Richmond. Their good victory on the season. Best win, a 3-point, 69-66 victory over Delaware. Those two teams also split during the regular season.
Let me ask you this. In the top bracket, I'm assuming you got Norfolk State coming out in the top bracket.
Yeah.
All right. The bottom
Well,
bracket. Go ahead.
Coppin State is a team that I continuously say can be a sleeper. Don't be surprised if Coppin State can sneak their way past, but just going off of, I'm going to go Norfolk State, but I will say circle if Coppin State get out of Maryland Eastern Shore, pay close attention to Coppin State.
What game is that? It's on Thursday? Okay. The bottom of the bracket, what you got?
Howard, North Carolina Central.
Okay. And who coming out of there?
I'm gonna roll Howard. I'm gonna take Howard all the way to the semifinal, to the championship.
Okay. I'm gonna take the number 1 and number 2 seed. I don't see many upsets this year. I think a lot of these teams have been solidified in just the way they've been playing. I mean, every team has their mess ups, but I think this team is definitely the number 1 and number 2 teams are definitely solidified for what they are. So I got Norfolk State and Howard, and I got Norfolk State going all the way to the championship.
Yeah.
Again. All right, let's get into a little swag basketball tournament. First up, let's get a little men's tournament. It's on you, Pete.
All right, Grambling State, the number 1 seed, SWAC regular season champion, 17-14 on the season, 14-4 in conference play. Their worst loss on the season, a 92-37 loss to Iowa State. But their best win for me was a 78-67 victory over Alcorn. You look at their opponent, Bama State, who just got a victory to close out the regular season over Grambling. So,
hey, listen, I do not like this matchup. Let me just say, I do not like this matchup.
Bama State comes in this game 13-18 on the season, 8-10. Their worst loss was a 98-67 loss to Iowa. Best win, 87-84 over Grambling. These teams split. Grambling won the first one, 74-68. Bama State won the last one, 87-84. We move on. We look at Southern right there. Southern University Jaguars, 18-13 on the season, 12-6 in conference play. Their worst loss, a 93-56 loss to Marquette. Their best win on the season was a 1-point victory, 60-59 over Mississippi State. They're taking on an opponent in Bethune-Cookman who's 16-15, 11-7 in conference play, coached by head coach Reggie Theus. Their worst loss on the season was 98-54 against UCF. And their best win was an 82-71 victory over Jackson State, if you ask me. Bethune-Cookman went 2-0 over Southern this regular season. This should be an interesting matchup the third time these two teams will meet up. Alcorn State right there, 14-17, 13-5 in conference play. Alcorn State, the hottest team, absolute. The Big Bad Braves riding a 9-game winning streak. Their worst loss on the season was a 105-65 loss to Maryland. Best victory was an 82-79 victory over Texas Southern. They're taking on Alabama A&M, who finished the season at 10-21, 9-9 in conference play. They lost 84-54 to Auburn, but their best win was a 60-50 victory over Grambling. Who would have thought? Alcorn owns it against them this year. Alcorn went 1-0 against Alabama A&M so far, 74-6, 71 was the score. And then you look at Texas Southern, 14-15, 12-6 in conference play. They are the 3-time SWAC championship tournament champion. Worst loss on the season, 62-33 against Virginia. And their best win was a 54-52 victory over Grambling. They taking on Jackson State. The Tigers are 15-16, 11-7 in conference play. Worst loss, I would say, was to Florida A&M. They lost 88-86 to FAMU, but their best win was over Missouri. A 1-point victory over SEC Missouri, 73-72. They split on the season with Texas Southern going 1-1. Texas Southern lost that first one to Jackson, 73-64, and Jackson won on the back end. Jackson lost on the back end, 80-70.
Ooh, let me say this. I think this is a good year for Alcorn to because last year they got knocked out in the first round by Texas Southern. That Grambling and Alabama State game, I do not like it. I really do not, because you have Alabama State coming off a high, beating you at their home. So that gives them confidence. The Southern Bethune-Cookman game is another game I do not like. Right, Bethune-Cookman can get hot at any point in time. They have a great kind of like athleticism. They got a lot of athleticism. You know, high flyers. The point guard from Maryland, of course. You know, former 5-star Harmon, I believe. I think the only guarantee to me is the Texas Southern and Jack State. I got Texas Southern winning that one. And I got Alcorn beating A&M. But this Grambling and Southern one, I'm a little iffy, but I'm going to take the top seeds. Because I want to see a Grambling and Southern semifinal. That's what I want to see. I want to see that. I think that's big time. But I got Grambling, Southern, Texas Southern, Alcorn. I got Texas Southern beating Alcorn. And I got Grambling beating Southern. I got a Grambling and Texas Southern championship. Grambling wins it all. That's what I got.
It's March Madness for a reason. Now, I see you rocking number one all the way. I am tossed up with that Southern and Bethune-Cookman game because something in me saying Bethune-Cookman can get it done, but it's tough to beat a team 3 times, especially if that team has really had you. Southern, if they can shoot some free throws, have an opportunity. I'm going to go Grambling. I'm going to go Southern. I like to see Grambling and Southern in that semifinal. I'm going to go Alcorn over Alabama A&M. Alcorn is hotter than I'm going to take Texas Southern over Jackson State. If you ask me, I think Alcorn being where they at right now, at that high, and remember, they did beat Texas Southern earlier this year, 82-79. I'm going to take Alcorn over Texas Southern. I think Alcorn makes it to the championship, and I think, once again, 0-3, 0-2 Southern against Grambling. It's hard to beat a team 3 times, and this ain't me just saying. I'm serious about this. Southern has shown early in the year that they are a legit team. Early on in the brackets, Southern was picked to win the SWAC. I think they have the talent level there. They're without Terrion Joseph, who really is hurting them right now. But Southern has still been in games if they knock down free throws. I think they still have the potential to be the best team in this conference. And this is just not me being an alum. This is me just talking basketball. Mm-hmm. I have Southern versus Alcorn for the championship. Southern beat Alcorn by 1 point on the reservation. I think Alcorn sneak past Southern this time for the championship.
Oh, wow. Alcorn in the tourney. Okay. I got Grambling in the tourney. He has Alcorn in the tourney. It's going to be a great one. It's going to be a great one to watch. We'll see how that goes. All right. Let's get into women's. Let me just say this. I hate that UAPB and Jackson State are in the same bracket. That bothered me. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. I absolutely hate it. I'm going to say it again. I absolutely hate it. All right, go ahead, Perry.
It's their fault. You got to win those games when it matters, right? Let's start at the top. Big Bad Jackson State on the women's side. Coach Tamika Reed and her squad, 23-6, 18-0 in conference play. Scotty riding an 18-game win streak coming into this tournament. Their worst loss on the season was a 97-52 loss to Texas, but their best win was a 63-54 victory over Southeastern, who's currently 18-11 and 14-4 in the Southland Conference. You look at Prairie View and Sandy Pugh. They're 11-17 on the season, 7-11 in conference play. Their worst loss was an 88-36 loss to Texas A&M, but their best win to me, 66-57 over UAPB. Prairie View went 0-2 versus Jackson State this year. Move on to the next team, the Golden Lions. UAPB women's basketball finished the season with the best record in school history since being a member of Division I. They finished at 16-15, 11-7 in conference play. Worst loss on the season, a 92-66 loss to Clemson. Their best win was a 74-70 victory over the University of Arkansas. Then you look at Alabama A&M, who was pretty hot for a while in the regular season. 15-15, 10-8 in conference play. Worst loss on the season, an 83-39 loss to Colorado. Their best win was a 62-56 overtime victory over Tennessee Tech. These two teams split during the regular season. A&M winning 1, UAPB winning 1. Then you look at Grambling State, 21-8, 15-3 in conference play. They're coming in riding a 10-game win streak, Scotty. Their worst loss on the season was to the University of Houston, 106-74, but they got a 3-point victory over Arizona State. I give that their best victory. Then they taking on Florida A&M, and for the first time ever in school history, they're invited to the SWAC basketball tournament. So congratulations to them, staggering in at 9-20, 8-10 in conference play. Right there, worst loss, 92-54 to the University of Florida, but their best win, I would give it at home, 59-53 over Southern University. Grambling went 2-0 over FAMU on the regular season. And then last but not least, Southern University, 15-14, 13-5, coming into the tournament riding a 4-game winning streak. Their worst loss was an 80-35 loss to Texas, but their best win on the season was a 79-70 victory over Oklahoma, who currently leads the Big 12 on the women's side at 22-9 and 15-3 in conference play. They're taking on Alcorn State on the women's side, 10-19, 8-10 in conference play. Alcorn State, worst loss on the season, 93-47 over Baylor. Their best victory for me was against UAPB, 59-52. Southern won the one only matchup they had this year, 61-58 over Alcorn.
Okay, listen, this is the Jackson State Invitational, so I'm not even going to play with it. Jackson State's in the championship, and I got Jackson State winning. I don't give a damn who meets them. I'm just calling a spade a spade. I don't even care to talk about. It's the Jackson State Invitational. When it comes to Tamika Reed on the women's side, it's hers to lose. So Jackson State by 1 million. That's how I feel. You can do the rest of it.
Oh, it's gonna come down to that semi where I see Grambling and Southern, and Grambling has had our number. But Southern in the tournament, look back to last year. They upset Jackson State in the semifinal, knocking down a buzzer beater 3 to get on to the final, and then took on UAPB and came back in that game. It's March Madness for a reason.
Hey, even the blind squirrel finds a nut, okay?
All right. And even Jackson State had their toughest game on the year to Southern. I'm going to take Southern versus Jackson State in the championship, and I'm going to go upset March Madness. This one, I'm going to go Southern wins the championship. I think they upset Jackson State.
Okay. I mean, y'all are the defending champions, so I don't really think that's an upset. You know what I'm saying? If you're a defending champion.
Well, considering Jackson State and the idea that there could possibly be the 15 seed, they're going to be riding a long winning streak coming into that game. There's a lot surrounding them. They get AP top 25 votes. That's why I would say upset for this year.
Yeah, I need them to win. I'm sorry. I don't want to see Southern in the NCAA tournament. Y'all don't have a chance. Y'all don't have a prayer in hell to win a game. Now, what I will say is this. If Jackson State, and I don't think they're going to be in the Iowa bracket, but if they were in the Iowa bracket and they just so should happen to fall, I think that's a great matchup. Iowa versus Jackson is a great matchup because all Iowa. Okay, listen. If you watch the Nebraska game, you saw the flaws in Iowa. Is that they're vulnerable in the middle. Yes, Kaden Clark can shoot the ball. She can shoot the lights out. But defensively, Jackson State can guard it, right? It works for them to work Angel and the girls in the post and stuff like that. So, but if they're in any other region, they ain't got a chance. They ain't got a chance. But depending on who they match up with, I gotta see some. I gotta see the matchup.
I saw one where it was having them possibly coming back to LSU if they're the 15 seed.
It's not a bad matchup. It's not as good as it was the year that they could have won. And the reason I say that is because the year that they could have won it, they didn't have any shooting. Like, none of them girls could shoot. And the thing for me is they don't have it's not a bad matchup. It's really not. I mean, you just need somebody to stop Angel. You ain't like Angel versus Angel. That's actually pretty good. That's actually, Angel Jackson versus Angel Reese. You need somebody to stop Angel. You need Maya Crump to be great. You need Maya Crump to be. She needs to be Johnson.
Flage.
She needs to be Flage. Maya Crump has the ability to be a Flage, but she doesn't go get it. Like, that's my problem with Maya Crump. Like, she could be one of the best guards on the team, but she don't go get it. Right? Like, you see Bowler go get it. You see Luckett go get it. You need Maya Crump to be great. That's really the deciding factor to me is Maya Crump. She needs to be at 15 to 20 points for them to be great. Like, for them to really knock them off, because Haley, listen, Luckett can strap Haley up. I mean, strap her up. But the deciding factor is Powell, whatever that girl's name, Poa, if she comes back. Because I like what Kim Mulkey has done. She's taken Haley Van Leaf off the ball. She has Poe dribble it up, and then she has Van Leaf coming off screens, and it's a lot of catch and shoot action for Haley, and she can do that all day. But if you got Haley bringing the ball up, Lucky gonna strap that up. Lucky gonna strap all that up. That I ain't even worried about that.
You want to know what I want to see? Can somebody put this together? And it could be at an undisclosed location or whatever. When this all over with, can we get Norfolk State women to take on Jackson State just for the fun of for the culture? It's no way we have these two great teams, and I want to see it.
So I talked to somebody close to both programs. Norfolk State has an open schedule, has a very open schedule. I talked to somebody from Jackson, and they were like, the travel doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. It will have to be played at a neutral site to where they both meet up, but the travel doesn't make sense. Norfolk State wants a home and home. They're open to a home.
No, I'm talking about this basketball season. I'm not talking about next year.
Oh, yeah.
You know how back in the day they used to say these two teams got, you know, the black school took on the white school. They played at an undisclosed location.
Yeah.
And, you know, whoever was in there got to see it. I just, man, Jackson State versus Norfolk State. Just somebody put this together, undisclosed location, or it don't matter. This is good for HBCU women's basketball.
I agree.
Like, you got to, because you have this right now, and even if you do put it to the world to see, but if not, I just want to see
like a MEAC and SWAC championship, like the Celebration Bowl before women's basketball.
Somebody just put it together real quick this year. Like, this just one of those, once the season over and done, like, hey, y'all was good. No, y'all was good. Let's get together.
You said you want them to play at the Y.
Hey, it don't matter. A court is a court. See, when you start getting booze, you start wondering, you know, if it's on the black top, I don't care. It's just these are two great teams for their conference, and I think two great teams for HBCU women's basketball. Everybody else carrying the wave, right? Everybody else riding it. Put them two together. Let's just do this somewhere. Please, somebody listening, somebody got some money out there that can make this work.
Yeah.
A basketball team ain't like traveling with a football team.
You're right. It's a rematch. From if they get the automatic qualifier, it's LSU and Jackson State. It's a rematch.
Yep.
The thing about this LSU the rematch, it's not Angel Reese people have to worry about. It's that other girl, Anissa.
Oh, look. She what kept LSU in the game early on when LSU had the lead against South Carolina. It was all buckets by her.
Is that she's more? Yeah, she is the issue. Angel Reese she's good, but Morrow is the problem. She is a problem. She's a physical problem, right? She's the one you got to stop. That's the issue. Angel Reese, I really think her and Angel, I think that's an easy matchup, right? I'm not easy. Let me be I think it can wash itself out. You got to find somebody for Morrow. And that I don't think they have. I don't think Jackson State has somebody for Morrow. I think Jackson State got somebody for everybody else. Because Flage don't shoot. Van Leaf is their only real shooter. Poa is okay. She's a big guard, so she can do some things. But it's Morrow. It's really Morrow. And then they got another big girl who shoots threes. I think she's a freshman or a sophomore. She's brown skinned, kind of hefty girl. She shoots a lot. But
what I think what's going to happen with the seeding, if Jackson State does go all the way, they're going to do that for LSU because let's talk about the politics of things. Everybody know what LSU dealing with right now, right? With they're going to say, hey, let's see, can Jackson State beat y'all with your 5 players?
Nah, they're all eligible.
Are they?
Yeah, they all.
That suspension don't carry over.
No, it don't carry because they didn't do a fight. They weren't in an actual fight. The only suspension that carries over is Cardosia because she was in an actual fight. Okay. Everybody else is not. Everybody else is free to go. Everybody else
didn't get them for clearing the bench.
Nah, they suspended them for that game, but they clarified it later that all the girls are eligible to return. Okay. But if it was just the 5, Jackson State got that in the bag. Jackson State got that in the bag. You talk about a game, I would be like, let's go.
And I went to the game when they played Jackson State last time here at LSU. I was there. Watched the game. I could not believe Jackson State gave it. They had their game all the way up until like the last 4
minutes of the game. They were up by 10, and they went press, and Luckett wanted to be Miss Dribbler. Her and it was a Daphne. They had another little small point guard. It was her and the other small point guard, and they tried to dribble through the press, and they came back and bit them in the ass. But if they would have just passed the ball and literally just worked the clock and went through, it was Maya. Maya got hot late, and if you went through to Amisha, if you went through Amisha and Maya. God almighty. And yeah, the refs did kind of, they started getting into the game. But it was really, if we're being honest, it was the press. The press really messed them up. The press really messed them up. So,
well, if anybody listening, look, I'm thinking about it as we sitting here. When this all over with, right? The dance and everybody over with, because I don't see Norfolk or Jackson State, whether if they win the tournament, they ain't getting out that first round. But regardless, let's just somebody, big money out there for the sport. for women's basketball. Since we got the wave and you got these two great teams, take them to Atlanta and play it in Atlanta.
I'll be there. Oh no, I won't. I'm in Ohio. If I was in Atlanta, I would so be there.
Take them to Atlanta. Norfolk versus Jackson State. I really got to see, because we've been hearing it all year. People saying, well, what would Jackson State look like if they played Norfolk? No, they couldn't beat Norfolk. Well, what would Norfolk? I got to see that. I just want to see it. I think that's for the culture. Now, when you just got to do one for the culture, you don't get this that often where these two teams have been dominant the way that they have. This is for the culture. You just got to put this together real quick. Whether it's at the end of March, somebody just throw this, hey, we're going to go play this at one of them schools, with a Clark Atlanta or a Morehouse or wherever. We're going to put this in the gym in Atlanta. These are our two best Black college women's basketball teams. And let's just watch them go to work.
I'd love to see it.
I would love to see it.
I would love to see it. That would be it right there. He said, and the bands too. Bring the bands too.
No, you don't need all that. We just want to watch basketball this day. We don't need the pageantry. This is basketball.
Barry, you said it. It ain't HBCU. It ain't no pageantry.
Well, when we start bringing the band down, you're gonna turn somebody. We just fly them teams out. That's it. We ain't talking about the bands. I'm not there. I want to watch the basketball that day. I just want to see Norfolk girls.
I love how you want to pick and choose when the pageantry should be involved. I just when you say, Scotty, HBCU is pageantry.
I said basketball for this. I didn't make this like next year for a 1-and-1. That's why I said an undisclosed location. It ain't even got to be to the public. I just want to watch I just want a basketball game for somebody to say who won and who lost. This one and nothing else about it is simply basketball.
Listen, I'll take the bands, please. Pep bands, I'll take them. I will happily take a little pep band and be in there. I'll be in there. Yeah, because to me that's even better because it's enclosed, so it fills the space. It fills the space, and everybody.
Y'all turn it into. I'm not with the event. You're trying to create an event. I'm just saying a game.
How you gonna get Black people to come if it ain't an event? That's what I'm saying.
We ain't got to have people come. You keep missing what I'm saying. When I say an undisclosed, that means you got to know the secret not to get in here, right? Everybody can't get in here, right? This is for your eyes only type of event. Yeah, like I'm just saying. Now, if y'all want to turn this into an event, then that's a conversation for another day. I'm just saying, let's get these two teams together. And if you ain't got nothing but one camera to show this game, and to hell with everybody else, and then you put this on YouTube and watch the views go crazy, whatever the case may be. You talk about like the Jordan versus Magic Johnson
Olympic game where they turned the scoreboard off at the end and just kept it pushing.
Yeah. Just that's all I'm asking for. That's all I'm asking for. You gotta know the knock.
Oh boy, hey, listen. I'll take that pay-per-view.
This ain't gotta be no huge event. This is just broadcast to say, look, man, these was our two best teams, and they played it. It turns into one of those urban legend stories where you hear about, man, hey, they did play. Now who won? Hey,
I'll be an announcer. I'd love to be an announcer for that. I would love to be an announcer for that. Yeah, you'd be like, you gotta have like a special tattoo that glow in the dark, with the night light, with the purple light. You're like, oh yeah, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, like, hey, you gotta have that holographic. Everybody think they can. You can't just make that. Got a holographic look to it. Like,
you be like that. It be shimmering like at the corner.
That's when that's official, because folks, you know us now. We'll make some shit right quick at Home Depot. You gotta Office Depot. I mean, we'll go to Office Depot and go to work. We creative when we want to be.
Yeah. All right, I love it, man. Hopefully we can make it happen, man. But like I said, Black people ain't gonna go to nothing that ain't an event. But I got you. You want it to be super secret squirrel. I want it to be open to the public. I want the girls to get their just due and credit for being as great as they are and have everybody come out and stuff like that. Thank you, Paris. Make sure y'all members become a member. All right. On the road to 300 members. We're on the road to 300 members, man. Listen, this is a great show, Perry. Let everybody know where they can catch you when you get off of here.
Oh, man, go follow me at On the Yard Network. On the Yard Network on all social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, as well as Facebook, and go follow my On the Yard Network YouTube channel. You can follow me there, and then follow me also. I do on Saturday mornings from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Talk 107.3 in Baton Rouge, the Jaguar Journal. You can follow the Jaguar Journal. So if you want to catch the show, you can, and you're not able to listen in the Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria area via radio, you can watch the live on our Facebook channel at the Jaguar Journal, or you can watch the live on the Jaguar Journal YouTube channel. So that's if you want to tune in. It ain't always Southern, but the guests are just like this show, many different people, the conversations, and they give you an opportunity to tune in. And then I also do a show with a college baseball Hall of Famer, legendary baseball coach, Roger Kadar. We have a show together called Chopping It Up with Roger Kadar and Perry White. You can follow that on YouTube also.
Man, listen.
And every Tuesday, right here on
Outspoken. After basketball, we go back to Monday. Yeah. We did Tuesday. Let me ask you before we get to go. Are you a fan of the new format for basketball? You heard what they're doing?
I just found out about it yesterday, so can I open it up a little bit more? And I had the conversation, but I just found out about it.
Okay, so we'll talk about that on next Tuesday. Okay. Listen, guys, so we're going to go through the week. We're going to come back on Tuesday. Once basketball season is done, you can catch us again on Mondays, all right? So when the new basketball season starts, since they playing on Tuesdays now, we're going to go back to Monday, and then we'll do our thing. We'll review on that too. What's up?
And I'm going to be on the podcast tonight, On the Hill. You watched On the Hill?
Oh, Alabama A&M, Jane. Yeah.
I'm going to go on there tonight and talk some basketball with them. So if you guys not doing anything, tune in to the On the Hill podcast. So I'll be on there tonight, chopping it up, talking some March Madness. And it's March Madness. So if y'all betting, hey, these conference tournaments, time to put your money where your mouth is.
Oh, I'll bet everything I had on Jack State right now. I put my house on Tamika Reed right now, boy. She ain't gonna let that thing slip. I'm gonna be good to go. All right, guys. Well, listen, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. I got to get gone, but listen. Until next time, you know what I'm gonna do. I'ma holler. God bless. Now, before I go, I'm gonna actually try to chop this up. I think it was a great show. I'm gonna chop it up. I'm gonna see how it responds. I usually don't put out videos. All my stuff is live, so I'm gonna try to drop some videos. See how it goes. See how that works for y'all. Y'all let me know. All right. So listen. I'm out.